Morning session, you can tell because I'm in the robe. Let's go. Man, I'm hungry because it's morning and I need to eat my breakfast. But this video is really, really great. And I'm not going to ignore it. And I low-key didn't feel like recording this morning. I'm not going to lie because I was just hungry.
If you guys are going to go on a show and make a fool out of yourself like that, go on Willie D. He's a part of our culture. It's hip-hop. He can understand you. And there's certain questions he's not going to ask you. But I just don't understand why we say it's Wakanda, but the two people who are running our urban situation is VLADTV and Adam 22. That just don't make much sense to me.
Yeah, that's true. See, I'm glad because before this 19-minute mark, he was doing something like annoying stuff. Anyways, that's so true.
When you have black people doing the same thing, you got Say Cheese TV, you got all these guys, you got what's his name? God dang it, I just been texting the dude. Not texting him, but Big Ant. You got Big Ant down there in Houston. I just don't understand, why does your story need to be told on these two particular platforms?
Exactly. Like, they feel like these two, which is Vlad and what is it, Adam 22, they feel like these two people going on their show is like you are almost an A1 celebrity by going on there. And what even makes you A1, first of all? But they don't even represent the people. How could they, why are they a source for us to go to and tell a story? Like you said, it doesn't really make sense.
And then you get asked these questions. It's like the HBCUs versus the university. Now that you have HBCUs that can pool their money and do certain things, and you can get these athletes likeness up now, you got a different situation. So you don't have to go on these platforms, especially platforms that's gonna make you look in a certain light. I just don't see the purpose of it. It's not beneficial to our culture.
Not at all.
It's not. So Vlad, I would like to ask, the only type of white men that you interview are white men that are already allegedly snitches
Mobsters.
Or allegedly mob bosses or former mob bosses. And white America don't look at them as normal white America. They're not the heroes in their neighborhood. The heroes in their neighborhoods are the bankers, the businessmen, the fathers. I don't see you asking those type of men the same questions that you ask the heroes in the black community. So I would like for you to tell me how that's beneficial. You'll ask a man who get out of jail for killing somebody, whether he did it in self-defense or not. You'll ask this man about this question. You'll ask him questions about it on TV, and then the family has to see the way this man answers these questions. And in our culture, once you put a camera in front of us, most of us got to peacock a little bit, so it comes across as if he may be bragging or he may show no remorse for the actual death. And now you have family members watching a black man on TV talking about the murder of their loved one. So then that person has unknown enemies out in the streets. And sometimes that person ends up dead or in jail. And so we have to start being careful of the images that we keep portraying us as black men. Because I like to say, Vlad, that I've never seen the type of killing that the police are doing on any other race than a black man.
That could be very true. And like that's what I'm real like iffy with that whole topic is because most of those situations that I'll see is because the black person had always caused it by being rowdy, trying to be doing too much. But And then on the other hand, it's like, well, it wouldn't have to go there if the police would just respect that person as another human and not have to always like take it to level 8 to 10 where the gun is out in front of you, and then they gotta search you and everything, and then at the end of the day, they're like, you know what, this is not the wrong person. This is the wrong person. So then that person is so bothered already by you doing what you did and you mistaking their identity. Now that person has to become scarred pretty much of that situation. And now they have this judgment of the police, and now they perceive it and they put that on everybody else. Oh, this is how they are. They all do that. Watch out. Like I said, every situation is situational. We cannot judge. We live in a world that's way too big to judge one situation of one. We live in an imperfect world, and we will never have perfect results.
An off-duty cop just hit a guy allegedly, jumped out the car and killed him.
That situation right there. Now that was wrong.
So
that was wrong.
I've never seen these things done to any other. George Floyd got kneeled on for over 8 minutes. I never seen these type of things happen.
And I see what he says saying too. Is like they're only portraying these like things to black males. You know, like why aren't they doing these like huge police type of freaking like I don't know what they're doing, but domestic violence on citizens. Why aren't they showing it when they do it to like Asians, whites, Hispanics? They only show it when it happens to blacks, and then everybody has outrage. There's a reason for that.
To any other race of men besides us. And I think the reason why some of these things are happening is because the images that your show and many other shows and many other movies, they portray a certain image of a black man.
Yeah, like some of these shows and music and movies and all of that makes us portray a lot of black people. We'll look at each other too. It's like, you know, I can't trust him, or he looks like a thief. He looks like a gangbanger. He looks like a drug dealer. He looks like this. We all have all these judgmental thoughts from what we watch, see, hear, and do, touch and do.
Male. And that's violent, that's aggressive, that's killers, that's going to jail. I think you should show a little more black boy magic. I think you should show some black males that are doing different things so that the white police officer that's always somehow afraid of black men, and I think that's because the imagery that's being placed on his...
They're like brainwashing the police to be afraid of blacks, brainwashing blacks to be afraid of police. You see how the divide and conquer works. All we have to do is brainwash one to feel this way about the other, and the other to feel the opposite. And they'll never come together until they figure out, oh shoot, it's you and I. Okay, well, why don't we like each other? I don't know. Okay, well, boom, they don't want that.
Ted, the white man won't be so afraid of black men because they'll see normal, everyday black men like themselves and stop putting out the same demonic image of a black man.
Yeah.
Now, if you disagree...
there's so many black men that you could just talk about, like, say, like the Wall Street Trapper. I think his real name is Leon. And he went from jail, doing all those crimes that Vlad loves to talk about. Then he went from that to being the Wall Street Trapper, meaning that he's the best, one of the best in the stock market, one that has really great information and evidence to prove of what the best ETFs to give invest in. And this is information that's gold. This has helped me. And I may have not made all the money yet, but the knowledge I have and the wisdom I gained is by far more than the money. Now, once I obtain the money, shoot.
I would like to hear your response, but I just don't see the focus in any other culture but our culture on gangs and jail and the drug story. How many drug stories do we need to hear as black folks? We heard them one, we done heard them all.
Exactly.
I think it's time to give these kids a different story.
Yeah, because it makes you feel like, okay, well, I gotta go through this hard life, or always gotta almost sell drugs or something like that, just to be relevant in this rap game, entertainment game, which is really a game, cause it ain't worth being in. But pretty much that's what he was saying. Uh, we gotta really be stern on what we're saying.